COVID can't kill Smash. It's been through too much already.
And the thing about it is they're making it so accessible. Things like the Smash World Tour, even if you're an O2er on Friday, they have side events so you can still get your competitive fill.
Jones.
Yeah, Jones. I was looking for a word.
If you're Jonesing for competition.
And then, I mean, there's the excellent spectating. There'll be lots of friendly setups. There's all kinds of good stuff. So please check out Smash World Tour. But now we have TheSwooper versus WatchingTime in a matchup they don't show on stream too often.
Yeah, TheSwooper definitely, what I would say, the darkest of the dark horses to win this whole event. He's number 3 in New Jersey under J-Flex and Wally. He plays super patient, especially in very floaty matchups like this. He is willing to time you out, so we might be here for a while. Go get your bowl of cereal.
Something that I think separates Swooper from other Samuses is that he does play that patient, like, I'll box you out kind of style, but he has like a sort of Peach-esque explosive punish game. It comes out of nowhere sometimes.
Yeah, especially against the fast fallers. He's very creative at how he messes those fast fallers up bad. But in these matchups, he plays a little bit more reserved generally, but still a master of Samus. I mean, we were talking about Samus earlier, how it's hard to get practice. It is very hard to get practice against a Samus this good, because there are not very many out there. Charge shot, point blank, in the face. Master Chief gets it done.
This is one matchup, one of the few matchups, which is very different depending on the version of the game you're playing on. In one version, I feel really bad for not remembering which.
Oh, in terms of like 1.1, 1.2, whatever?
Yes. 1.0 is different, and I think in that one, the turnips clash with the missiles, and in the other, I think it's this one, the missiles go through the turnips. So whether or not you can play the projectile game with Samus as Peach depends on which version of the game you're playing.
Don't worry, Snack. Someone in Twitch chat is already correcting you.
Yes, please, if you're one of the information monsters in the chat, let them know what version it is.
But Swooper actually having some time, having a full plate here with WatchingTime, who has evened this up to an extent.
His movement's so nice, just backing off enough, but still having enough space to work with. The way he's maneuvering on the platforms is just kind of cool.
And that up tilt is something that we did not see a lot of from Bardone, the other Samus that we saw. But you know, it is a banger of a move, and it can pop you up for forward smash at lower percents. It can lead to a lot of cool follow up on the stun. It has about half as much stun as like a Falcon stomping you into the ground, I think.
Okay, I have two things to talk about. First off, Tomahawk Missile, what?
Yeah.
Second,
yeah.
The second one, I guess it gives you a lot of advantage if they shield it.
Well, you know, I really didn't realize how good missiles were until Esam moved to North Carolina, and he was playing a lot of Melee with us, and he was doing a lot of stuff with missiles. Tomahawk Missile is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
That Super Missile, man, it sucks to get hit by that at almost any percent.
The second thing, which I think is going to be a big decider in this match, is the Swooper has a huge countermeasure for turnips. He power shields it. It hits Peach. Wow.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And then he mixes up either grabbing the turnip and then throwing it back, or putting out an aerial so Peach can't approach in a different way. So it's like really cool turnip counterplay.
I love the down air on platform to charge shot. That looked super dope.
Mm-hmm.
The Swooper now up by 2.
Okay, WatchingTime, nice grab. What do we get out of it? He gets out on the platform via slide off.
Okay, so that's a situation where you can really tell how good the Swooper is with Samus, because so many Samuses would have played that recovery slow, but the Swooper, very confident in his character, just comes back to the ledge instantly upon Tether grabbing the stage.
Yeah, so much practical tech doing the bomb into forward air on the platform. Like, it's not something you see often.
Such a hard character to edge grab when they're piloted by someone as efficient as the Swooper.
Mm-hmm. Okay, tries to use a read up smash, costs
and
nothing.
Now he's a little scared. I mean, he's a little scared of going out there too far and just eating a forward air, because he's at that percent where forward air can just really mess you up.
Speaking of forward air messing you up,
challenges the up tilt. Yeah, that's, you know, up tilt is a good move, like I said earlier, but it does have a ton of startup, and so does Peach's Fair. So really good timing from WatchingTime there. Yeah,
I think that the Swooper caught on pretty early that WatchingTime's floats, for the most part, have been a little on the high side and wants to do sort of the drop-down fair. So that low one at a quicker timing was able to get it. We'll see if that makes a difference in Game 2, but this is going to be very hard to come back from.
Super risky air dodge recovery there for the charge shot, but the Swooper plays it reserved and ends that one with a Super Missile to the face.
Yeah, the names are switched on the view that we're looking at now. The Swooper is on the left. He is the Samus player, I believe. I mean, I know he's a Samus player. So just for those in the chat, we're going to Dreamland. I have seen this matchup when played by 2 high-level players.
Whoa.
Times out on this stage 50% of the time.
Yeah, and we know that Swooper has no problem doing that. So we will see. But I think he honestly, especially if it plays out like the last game did, I think it will have no issues with that because he's not really going to be looking to time him out unless it's a little bit closer.
This appears to be the version where missiles go through turnips, and I believe it's 1.02, so I think I was right.
Shoutouts to version 1.02.
I'm assuming it's 1.02. I guess I don't know that for sure.
I feel like every local scene has that one guy who knows the differences between all the versions.
There's always that Link player who carries around the 1.0 disc with him and insists to play on it so they can get the different upbeats.
Shoutouts to Save State.
He does that? Yeah, I guess that.
The Link Tech God. All right. Watching time, a little bit better of a start for him here. The turnip versus missile war paying dividends for him. A war of attrition, to say the least.
Yeah, nice dash attack.
Turnip cannot hit Samus out of her up B until the very, very, very end. It's got a lot of priority on it, and it lasts a long time.
Using just a wall of turnips. Watching time does have the advantage, although a narrow one here in game number 2. Yep, trying to crouch. That means he wants to power shield. See, that time he goes in.
Dude, my sleep paralysis demon is literally Samus crouch canceling in the corner of my room, just waiting on me to approach. Like, it is so scary when Swooper just crouches down.
He puts the little gun arm up, you know, and you're like, oh no, he's ready.
Whoa! Challenging the turnip with a charge shot. What a play.
Saying you might be a little too patient right now, Watching Time.
Yeah, I think he did recognize that. I think Watching Time was anticipating another missile instead, but the charge shot does not have the same problem that the missiles do. All right, Swooper playing that one a little bit more slowly, and I think he's going to pay for that with a stock.
Yeah, only 15%. We still have a really close game. And I'm going to keep mentioning the time, check in every now and then. We're just below 6 minutes.
Synchronize your watches, gentlemen.
Okay, yep. You can wiggle out. If Samus doesn't land on the platform, you're actionable first.
Super missile again.
Wow, I like the down air to get through the power shielded turnip. What a clever mid-set countermeasure. That's not something that I think was recognized by Watching Time earlier. That's
cool. Definitely an on-the-fly adjustment because we've seen him use it so many times in this matchup in this match compared to the last match.
And now the spooky thing is, now that Swooper, I'm sure Swooper noticed that too, and already has a countermeasure built in from ahead of time, something else prepped, maybe a rising aerial. Wow, some mines on the ground. Such a wow! What a matchup.
creating some difficulty there for the ground game of Peach. You can't nair in on those mines. So interesting play by the Swooper there to buy himself some time and space.
Okay, yep. Turnip gets him in. Only a little bit of damage. Yep. Not being aggressive. I like it. You have to back off sometimes. Show you're willing to. Yep. Shield drop missile. Okay. He gave what Watching Time thought was the sign that it was safe to approach from underneath, and the shield drop missile proved that to be incorrect. Okay, I like up-airing the turnip to try to get back. However, Watching Time able to cover it. Yep, throws the missile back. A different countermeasure now. He's showing he has other ways to respond.
Nice pressure from the Swooper, but it doesn't pay dividends this time.
Yeah, I thought the down smash was going to shield poke too. So.
But it was, I don't know if it was shield angling or what, but Watching Time was definitely holding Skittles right there and made it work somehow.
I never thought about it, but I guess you can grab the turnip when you're in the little ball animation.
Yeah.
You're technically just falling.
I think that's something that, a lot of people kind of underestimate about Samus is what all she can do coming out of that little ball.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically just in the air, but with a smaller hurt box, right?
Yeah, essentially. I mean, you can use all of your aerials out of there. You can super missile out of there, charge shot, whatever the case may be. But yeah, grabbing turnip is probably the last thing I would expect to see out of it.
Yeah, and a different countermeasure to the power shielded turnip, just runs up on the ground.
Another reason this matchup can be a little tougher for Samus is she has a really bad throw. Like her throw animation's very long, and it widens her hurt box, actually. Her and Falcon both don't have very good throws.
All right, now we are at 3 minutes, 20 seconds, roughly even percent. So this game, I'm going to call it, is going to come down to who can take this stock first. and then build up a bunch of percent. It'll be huge in the war for the end of the game. And even if it doesn't go to time, you need to be the one who's forcing your opponent to approach. That was
nice.
a stitch.
That was obviously a very crucial grab by SSWooper because it was a stitch.
Whoever takes the stock first is such a huge, huge advantage.
I can't believe how close this game is compared to the last one. It shows you how much of a difference those little micro adjustments from watching time, they're paying so big on dividends. And also Dreamland, it makes a huge difference. But not that big of a difference when you're talking about charge shot.
Yeah, that was a third turn-up countermeasure. He does crouch cancel charge shot. He has been like in the books. This is like an extremely studied player of this matchup.
Well, you got to think, you know, being from New Jersey and coming to a lot of these MDVA events, you're going to see some good peaches.
Yeah, well, I mean, it used to be pretty close to Peachadelphia.
Yeah, exactly.
Back in the day, so he has experience. And now all this damage is what I'm talking about. He does not even have to approach if he doesn't want to anymore. He can play it safe and play for time. The world is his oyster. Okay, coming off the top platform. Yep, no rush. I guess you want to play close enough that you don't give Peach the chance to get a Stitch face that could turn it around. But this is almost impossible to overcome from Peach at this point. Like, how are you going to take this stock from Samus, who is stalling off stage, and then also be able to get the next one up to over 130% without taking a fatal blow yourself?
Yeah, especially against Samus, who, you know, as she gets closer and closer to 150, that's super missile, man. It can hit you from anywhere on the stage, and it will kill you instantaneously.
Yeah, and I mean, it's coming down to, like, the duration of Samus's up B being relevant. Like, every second or two you burn off the clock.
Another turnip countermeasure? What was that? He just zared it. A term you'll rarely ever hear in the Melee community, zaring someone.
He is showing off. He's showing off the tech.
And this fourth throw should seal the dealio. No! Great DI from SSWooper.
I'm surprised he didn't bomb stall.
Yeah, and the weight. I mean, I think he wants to get back at this match. Down to our last minute here. Less than one TikTok remaining on this one.
Doesn't stay on the plat. He wants to kill. And he gets it, I think.
And that will be it. The SSWooper versus Watching Time is over with a slight sweat worked up by SSWooper there, but seals the set out.
SSWooper, the more prepared.
Yeah,
Watching Time,
certainly.
Incredible adjustment to the turn-up counterplay overall.
Mid-set adjustments, too.
Yeah, and then SSWooper just showed that his bag of trips was way too deep to adjust to. You have to be ready ahead of time.
Yeah, as Melee players, you know, you go through stages where you can make various adjustments. You can watch VODs of your sets and then make adjustments for the next event. You can have a set and then make adjustments for the next set that you have in the event. But to make adjustments mid-game like that shows a lot of awareness and a lot of matchup, or not a lot of character security from Watching Time.
You have to have some understanding of the different interactions that happen between the two characters, the different properties that the moves have, and you have to have a deep knowledge of turnips to be able to adapt to counterplay like that so quickly. And I think he started to recognize after game one the angle that it came off the power shield was pretty consistent. So he could go low with a quick drop fair or like run directly in with a dash attack or something like that in order to punish. So it was really, really impressive from Watching Time. And of course, extremely impressive from SSWooper, who showed off a lot of interesting Samus tech. There's stuff in there that many Samus players probably have never thought of doing.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Smash World Tour and how awesome it's going to be before, and we'd like to show you a trailer right now.
I'm super stoked on this. Let's go. Let's go!
Oh, that's gonna do it. The finals go to PC Chris.
Oh no! Oh my God, that's the same synergy! I've never seen a combo like this! Apex 2015. Yo, PP is back.
We're not going down without a fight. We refuse to.
The game. Oh, Mega all of a sudden, I don't know.
Brandon, you say evens up, but I remember something, and there it is.
So Mango up, pretty clean stock, and once he gets that shine, anything can happen. You can't just force stock me, Mango.
Continues to pile it on, 41%. Oh, that could have been very dangerous.
He still has the banana in hand. Gets the tech around the end, and the game.
If the game is played,
Look at that pop up.
if the game is enjoyed, and if the game is shared, the game is immortal.
my heart, buddy. Let me tell you.